I'll be honest, I've always been way too nervous to film one of these videos because let's be honest, they're pretty savage. Hello, beautiful friends and book lovers. I have decided to film a worst slash most disappointing books that I read in 2021. I feel like disappointing is not as harsh as worst. So I have, I think, 2 books in my disappointing category, and then 3 books that were just like honestly plain awful. If you're new here, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I tend to read and review thrillers and mysteries. If you haven't checked out my top 10 thrillers slash favorite books of 2021, I will link that up here for you. That is my favorite video to film all freaking year. So I encourage you to check that out because it has my top 10 favorite books. And I feel like I had a pretty good reading year. But in this video, I will be featuring 5 books that really just did not hit the mark for me this year. 2 of them were Reese's book club picks, which actually when I realized that, I was like, that's surprising. And then I was like, wait, no, it's not, because I'm pretty sure Where the Crawdads Sing was a Reese's book club pick. And I may be one of the few, if not only person in the book community that freaking hated that book. Yeah, get ready for some unpopular opinions here, guys, because we are just going to dive in. But if you're new here, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new book-related video. I will also have my Goodreads and Instagram linked in the description box below so we can connect there. First book up is in the disappointing category because it's a decent book. It's written by a great author. Actually, a couple of these are written by authors that I deem to be great. But yeah, let's just get into it. That is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was very disappointing for me. I freaking loved The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That was rated in my top 10 of 2020 last year. That book blew me away. So I had some high expectations for Malibu Rising, and this just felt like a discombobulated mess. It was just hype. It was going back and forth between the siblings' point of view, and then we would get the past point of views from the siblings' parents growing up, specifically the mom. So it was just kind of like messy there, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. It kind of got annoying and frankly boring. And this book didn't have any like twists and turns. It didn't have any jaw-dropping moments like Evelyn Hugo. It was just honestly boring, and I didn't feel like there was really any like sort of climax. I did forget to mention all of the books that I'm talking about I have filmed full reviews on, so I will link that up here for you if you'd like to hear all of my thoughts in detail on Malibu Rising. But yeah, this was just honestly super disappointing. My last book in the disappointing category before I get super savage is The Sanatorium. This was a Reese's book club pick, and honestly, the reason that I chose to even listen to it on Amazon Audible. Love listening to audiobooks. I pay for the Amazon Audible subscription, and it comes with 1 credit a month, at least the package that I purchase. But anyways, I chose this because it was a Reese's club pick, and the setting sounded amazing. This book had a ton of potential. The setting, a old sanatorium, and now turned like bougie hotel, and it just, I don't know, that right then and there, I honestly, I'm not lying, I was sold on the book. I'm a sucker for settings. So it honestly was just kind of boring and very confusing. And I felt like the author tried to like give us a lot of character depth for like our protagonist, but it just didn't hit the mark. I just felt like we were constantly hearing about this character's past anxieties just like over and over again. And I'm like, okay, are we gonna get anything else other than that one character trait? And then I was just kind of left confused in some parts and just overall not impressed. But I know that this was a very, very popular read. But yeah, I just was like, I think there actually is going to be a sequel, but I was like, I'm not even gonna read it because this just, I don't even think I gave this a 3-star. Okay, this review for number 3, we're getting into the worst books that I read. I have 3 of them. It is filmed and edited. It's just not on my channel yet. But if you watched my 10 plus thriller TBR video in October, this will be recognizable for you. It is The Cottage Oh my God. You'll hear about this more when my actual review posts, but basically similar to the sanatorium, it has an amazing setting. Here, our protagonist is in a secluded cottage that's kind of old-timey. She has to put coins into a meter in order to heat the house. There's not that much electronics, blah, 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 blah. She's by herself, creepy shit's happening. But guys, this ending is just so far-fetched, like to the point where it's like laughable. And then the author kind of tries to, like, in my opinion, like save face at the end by being like, something similar to this ending has actually happened in real life. And I'm like, okay, you can say that all you want, and I believe you, but that doesn't mean that this is like literally outlandish. And I was gonna DNF this book, but then there were a couple people that I was chatting with that had also purchased it because it sounded good, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was like, I owe my pals a review, because here I am hyping it up in October thinking it sounds great. And yeah, it just wasn't. This is one that I personally requested off of NetGalley. Number 2 is another Reese's Book Club pick. One that I know for a fact many people were very excited about, that it ended up being a Reese's pick because it was also a book of the month choice. And that is this gorgeous covered book, We Were Never Here by Andrea Bartz. Ow, I just bit my tongue. The universe is like punishing me for talking smack about these books. That's why I don't film these kind of videos. No, but anyways, this cover, beautiful. I'm a sucker for just like vibrant colors, the palm trees in the background. I love it. I was super excited for it. I was even more excited that I chose this as my book of the month. Oh yeah, I forgot this one doesn't have the month on the back. Typically, book of the month will put like book of the month, October 2021 or whatever. Book of the month decided to feature this, and then it was released that it was a Reese's Book Club pick. So it was like a double whammy for me. I'm like, hey, I just got this and I can, be a part of the Reese's Book Club too. Oh my God. This, what did I write about in my notes here? Yes. One of the main things is that this is like beyond predictable. Like, you read the inside flap, okay. You read the first couple pages, okay. And then you're like, I know that the route this book is going. And then you're thinking in your head, please don't actually go that route though, because that would be like beyond predictable. And it does. And not only does it go the predictable route that I'm pretty sure most of us, got the vibe of, it also has a been there, done that trope in the thriller genre that has been done so many freaking times over. I'm not gonna say it in case for some reason I'm encouraging you to read this book, which I highly doubt. I don't wanna spoil it though, but it has a trope that has been so overdone in the thriller community. And I was like, please come on. I've read like a billion books like this, and like, I just want something different. Nothing unique about this book, and it really just freaking fell flat. Also, my pup is going to town on his bison bone in the carpet, or on the carpet right next to me. So I'm so sorry for his chewing and gnawing if that's picking up in the audio. But here, my worst book of the year. Probably my most anticipated read. No, that's a lie. That was my most anticipated read is the book that won my very first spot in my top 10 of 2021. So check that out again if you haven't, because then you'll get to see what it is. This was probably my second most anticipated book, Survive the Night by Riley Sager. If you're not new here, you probably saw this coming. I posted a review on it probably like 2 weeks after I got it. And oh my God, this book is just ridiculous, okay? It's beyond dumb. I mean, like, from our main protagonist being just absolutely horrible, like so frustrating to read, to like the main bad person in this book is so far-fetched and it's cringy. And I remember saying that in the video, like, this book just has like a cringe factor, which I was like, why? It's Riley Sager. Like, why is this book cringy? I want to say so much more, but I don't want to spoil it. It's just literally outlandish. I put jumbled here in my notes. There's like zero direction. And yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. I don't even know what to say. And what's interesting is on Bookstagram, people either loved this or they're kind of like me, like, wow, it felt like he was under contract and was pressured to like produce a novel in record time. And this was like the best he could come up with. I have enjoyed most of Riley's books. I loved Home Before Dark. I praise that book. I tell anyone who's trying to get into like thrillers and mysteries to start there because it's freaking amazing. I loved Lock Every Door by Riley. Loved him. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Didn't like I don't even remember the other title. Was it like Those Who Lie? The Last Time I Lied, I think that one was mediocre, but better than this one. And I've yet to read Final Girls. But this book, I was just like, gosh, it was so disappointing. And I haven't really felt like I've seen people in the middle. It was either like, wow, a Sager book, amazing, loved it, which awesome, good for you if you did, because I was like, I was struggling to find like any positive things about it, honestly. And the only positive that I did, you can watch my review for a little bit more because I discussed this in depth, but like he does a really good job like integrating older music and older movies because our protagonist is supposed to be like a movie buff. So I will say that like the research and thought that was put into those additions to the novel was thoughtful, but everything else just sucked. I'm not even kidding. Like I feel guilty having filmed that. Like, I don't know why, because I always post honest reviews and a lot of my reviews are just brutally honest, right? And I say every single thing I didn't like about the book. And that's that's exactly what I just did here, but not every single detail. And also it was 5 books, so maybe that's why I feel bad. Anyways, I hope like me, you had more favorites this year than duds, because I definitely had more favorites. I definitely had more like okay books than I did not. In 2021, it was a pretty decent, solid reading year. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I am looking forward to chatting with you in the comments below. If your comment contains a spoiler, please be mindful and indicate that before you type out all your lovely thoughts so nobody gets spoiled. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.